Hello viewers. Welcome to Igbo the First Lady's class. Sorry she has been off for a long time. This is due to the change in her work environment. But, she is now fully back and better. Ready to roll out her lessons. Please subscribe if you haven't. It will really encourage her to post more videos. Don't forget to drop your comments at the comment section. Like and share. Thank you.
Today we'll be talking about the letters of the Igbo alphabet, which we call Mkpụrụ edemede Igbo in Igbo language. Today's Igbo language makes use of the letters of the alphabet compounded by Professor S.E. Onwu and his committee. These letters are 36 in number, and they are divided into two: the consonants and the vowels. The consonants are 28 in number, while the vowels are 8 in number. On your screen, you'll see the letters in their capital forms and the letters in their small forms. Let's dive into the pronunciation of these letters. And I want you to repeat after me. A, A, B, B, J, J, D, D, F, F, G, G, B, B, G, G, Gu, Gu, He, I, E, J, J, K, P, Q, L, M, N, Ng, Ny, O, A, B, R, C, Sh, T, U, O, V, Ny, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, B, R, Gu, H, I, J, K, P, Q, L, M, N, Ny, O, A, P, R, C, Sh, T, U, O, V, Z. Now let's say these letters in words. And in words, we use the words in making sentences, and you also see their translation in English language. The first letter is A, and you will see it in a word like Aka. Aka means hand. Now in a sentence form, Le akam, which means look at my hands. The next letter is B. bo, that is the B in English language. And you can find it in a word like ball. Ball. The word ball is also called epele in Igbo language. You see someone will tell you, anagime ejigi eti epele, meaning that I don't take you for granted. Okay, in the sentence form, you hear a sentence like ọ na-agba ball. Ọ na-agba ball. He or she is playing ball. The all there stands for the pronoun he or she. The next one is the chi. Chi. You see it in word like chere. Chere. Chere means wait. Chere. Wait. Now we see it in sentence like cherem. Cherem. Wait for me. Wait for me. The next letter is the. The. That is the D in English language. And you can find it in a word like they. They. That is the verb to write. Now you can use it in a sentence like dee ihe n'akwụkwọ a. Dee ihe n'akwụkwọ a, which means write on this book. Write on this book. The next one is the letter E. E. And you can find it in a word like eke, which means python. Eke, python. Now let's look at it in a sentence. Eke loro mmadụ. Eke loro mmadụ, which means someone was swallowed by python. Someone was swallowed by a python. The next letter is the letter F. The F in English language. And you can find it in a word like ofufe. Ofufe means worship. Let's look at it in a sentence. Ihe ndị a bụ ngwa ofufe. Ihe ndị a bụ ngwa ofufe. Ihe ndị a bụ ngwa ofufe, which means these are objects of worship. On the next slide, we have G. That is the G. And you can find it in word like ge, which means you. And in a sentence, you hear a sentence like ọ sị gị bịa. Ọ sị gị bịa, which means he or she said you should come. Next letter is the B, and you can find it in a word like bupo, which means cut off. Now let's look at it in a sentence. O bupuru ya aka. O bupuru ya aka. He or she cut off his or her hand. The O there stands for he or she, while the ya stands for his or her, meaning it may be a male or a female. And the next letter is re. Re, and you can find it in a word like agha. Agha means war. And in the sentence we have agha adala. Agha adala, which means there is war. The next slide we have gu. You can find it in a word like ogwu. Ogwu means medicine. In the sentence you have ogwu na-agwọ ọrịa. Ogwu na-agwọ ọrịa, which means medicine cures diseases. The next letter is he, which is the H in English language. And you can find it in a word like họpụta. Họpụta, to select. To select something. And in sentence you have họpụta nke kacha ha niile mma. Họpụta nke kacha ha niile mma, which means select the best out of them or select the most beautiful. So mma there is maybe beautiful or the best. The next letter is E, and you can find it in a word like ike. Ike means power. In a sentence you have ọ dị ike. Ọ dị ike, which means he or she is powerful. Ike can also mean strength. Strength, somebody that is full of energy. Ọ dị ike. On the next slide we have E. A, and we can find it in a word like engo. That is the verb to drink, engo. And in a sentence, you have engo mmiri dị mma. Engo mmiri dị mma, which means it is good to drink water. The next letter is the J, and you can find it in a word like G. G. G means yam, the edible food, yam. Okay, in the sentence we have Ji bụ ezigbo nri. Ji bụ ezigbo nri, which means yam is a good food. The next letter is the K, and we can find it in a word like karere, which means excess, something being in excess. In sentence, you can have ihe o butere karịrị. Ihe o butere karịrị. The things he brought are excess. The things she brought are excess. Remember, the O can be he or she. So the things he or she brought are excess. On the next slide, we have the B, and you can find it in a word like kpakpando. Kpakpando means stars, the stars. Now in the sentence, you can have a sentence like Ọ mara mma ka kpakpando. Ọ mara mma ka kpakpando, which means he or she is as beautiful as the stars. The next letter is the Ku, and you can find it in word like Chukwu. Chukwu means God. Chi Ukwu, the great God. In sentence, you can have a sentence like Chukwu kere eluigwe n'ụwa. Chukwu kere eluigwe n'ụwa, which means God created the heavens and the earth. The next letter you have the L, and you can find it in a word like le, which means look. And in a sentence we have lee anya n'ihe ọ na-egosi gị. Lee anya n'ihe ọ na-egosi gị, which means look at what he or she is showing you. On the next slide, we have the M, as in the M in English language, and we can find it in a word like meta, which means to bear fruit. Meta, to bear fruit. And in a sentence, we have meta ezigbo mkpụrụ. Meta ezigbo mkpụrụ, which means bear good fruits, which is a command. Meta ezigbo mkpụrụ, bear good fruits. The next letter is the N, and you can find it in a word like nata, which means to collect. In sentence, we have nataya egogi. Nataya egogi, which means collect your money from him or her. Collect your money from him or her. The next letter is ng. The name that when you pronounce it, it's as if there is an airflow through your nostril. And you have it in a word like ngo, to drink. Ngo, to drink. And in sentence we have ngo ezigbo mmiri. Ngo ezigbo mmiri, which means drink enough water. Drink enough water. Ngo ezigbo mmiri. It can also mean drink good water. Drink good water. Ngo ezigbo mmiri. Drink good water. On the next slide, we have nwe, and we can find it in a word like nwaanyị. Nwaanyị, which means woman. And in the sentence, we have nwaanyị ahụ mara ezigbo mma. Nwaanyị ahụ mara ezigbo mma, which means that woman is so beautiful. That woman is so beautiful. The next letter is ne, and we can find it in a word like nyere, to give. Nyere, to give. Now, in the sentence, we have biko nyere m aka. Biko nyere m aka, which means please give me a helping hand. Please give me a helping hand, or please help me. The next letter is O. O, and we can find it in oche. Oche means chair. And in the sentence we have bunye m oche ahụ. Bunye m oche ahụ, which means give me that chair. On the next slide, we have O, and we can find that O in Oka. Oka means corn or maize. And in sentence, we have Oka na-atọ ụtọ. Oka na-atọ ụtọ, which means corn or maize is sweet. Oka na-atọ ụtọ, corn or maize is sweet. The next letter is the P. And you can find it in a word like pour. Pour means go out. And in sentence we have si ebe ahụ pụọ. Si ebe ahụ pụọ, which means go out from there. The next letter is the R. And you can find it in a word like arrow. Arrow. Arrow means abomination. Abomination. And in sentence we have mmadụ igbu mmadụ ibe ya bụ arụ. Mmadụ igbu mmadụ ibe ya bụ arụ, which means it is an abomination to a mother. On the next slide we have the the S, and we can find it in a word like sie. Sie is the verb to cook. And in sentence we have sie nri. Sie nri, which means cook this food. The next one is the sh. This letter sh can only be found in dialect. We don't have the sh in the Central Igbo. We can only have words from the dialects containing sh. In a word like oshi, oshi, oshi means stealing. Oshi, stealing. And in sentence we have oshi adịghị mma. Oshi adịghị mma, which means stealing is not good. The next one is the T. And we have a word like ta, which means today. And in sentence we have ọ ga-abịa taa. Ọ ga-abịa taa means he or she will come today. On the next we have the U, and we can find it in word like ude. Ude. Ude means cream or pomade. And in sentence we have ude a na-esi isi ọma. Ude a na-esi isi ọma, which means this cream or pomade has a good fragrance. The next one is O, and we can find it in the word like olo. Olo means house. And in sentence we have ụlọ ahụ mara ezigbo mma. Ụlọ ahụ mara ezigbo mma. That house is so beautiful. The next letter is the V. We can find this V in only dialects. We don't have words in the Central Igbo containing that letter V. So we can have the V in words like vuru. Vuru. Vuru means carry. Carry. In sentence we have vurivugi. In the Central Igbo, the vurivugi means buribugi. Buribugi, which means carry your load or carry your burden. Buru ibugi, vuru ivugi means carry your burden. The next letter is the W, and we can find it in a word like were. Were means take. And in sentence we'll have were ihe gị. Were ihe gị, which means take your thing. Were ihe gị means take your thing. The next letter is the ye, and we can find it in the word like iye. Iye. Iye means to fry. And in sentence we have iye ogede adịghị mfe. Iye ogede adịghị mfe, which means it is not easy to fry plantain. The next letter is the Z. The Z. And we can find it in a word like azịza. Azịza. Azịza means broom. And in sentence we have nye m azịza ahụ. Nye m azịza ahụ. Nye m azịza ahụ means give me that broom. Remember I said we have 36 letters, and in that 36 letters we have 28 consonants and 8 vowels. See you in the next class. Bye.